We're back!
Welcome to week 2 of the June Weight Loss Soundbites. And I'm Christina, and this is, of course,
Bob.
Okay. This week our question is, how do you deal with the emotional side of this journey, such as emotional eating, compliments, even after you've lost a lot of weight, still seeing that 300 plus pound person in the mirror?
That's an ongoing thing. That after six and a half years, I still find myself working on. I'll still look in the mirror, and I'm thinking, wow, inside I'm still the 330-pound guy. I don't know if that will ever go away.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a good thing. Remembering how I was motivates me to not go back to that.
Yeah.
So try to channel a negative emotion into a positive emotion. Look at what's negative about it, and then turn it upside down, and look at what's good about that same emotion. Kind of like, is the glass half empty or half full? Whenever your glass gets half empty, look at it's still half full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, because I'm only 7 months out, and I still have that. I still think of myself as that 318-pound person, and I always wait for that. Whenever I'm seeing people, I kind of wait for that reaction that you get, that people don't necessarily, they're not trying to be rude, but you get that initial reaction where they're like, kind of, and so I still wait for that, and I don't get it, and people just kind of don't pay me any mind, because when I'm out and about, I notice, like, if I'm having one of my feeling like my actual weight days,
Mm-hmm.
I'm average. I fit in. I don't stick out like I did. I'm not like super skinny, and so that's weird. And so I think it's a good thing to still have a little bit of that, because it reminds you of where you were and where you don't want to be.
Yeah. Well, where I used to work, there was 2 buildings in downtown. And I worked in one. I had the surgery, and I rarely went over to the other building. And I remember going over there and going through a particular department on the 5th floor that I went to even more rare. And it had been about 5 months after surgery, and by that time I'd lost a lot of weight. And I walked through, and you could see people working at the desk, and I'd look up and look back, and I'd look back up kind of like, he looks familiar.
Mm.
And the people I was really close with that I'd known for years working there, some of them would come up to me every once in a while and say, are you sick? Do you have cancer? You feel okay? You've lost a lot of weight all of a sudden. And I tried to think of both of those as good things. I get to where I'd look for those people who would do the double take and kind of look and say, he looks familiar. But they couldn't place me. And I'd think, that's because I'm different. Because the surgery worked. So I took that and made it into a positive feeling for me. And the people who would ask me, are you sick? Are you about to die? Do you have cancer? And you'll get that. I would tell them, no, I just lost a lot of weight. And I'm feeling better, matter of fact. And then if they showed any curiosity at all, I'd go into the gastric bypass, and it works quick, but it's not magic. And so you get to where when you believe in something so much, you don't sell it, you evangelize it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would do that sometimes, particularly with another heavy person who'd come over and say, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. Are you okay? So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Matter of fact, then I'd talk to this person. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't say, you should do this too, but I'd give them all I got tired of being heavy, and so I looked and I did some research and talked to some friends who'd had the surgery and did more research, and talked to my doctor and did more research, and so I gave it a shot, and I went through the studies and did the 6 months, and actually I was on a waiting list for the surgery from the 1st of December one year to the 5th of December the next year. So I was on the waiting list a year for surgery. And I had that time to get my head right and do more research, and I could have changed my mind at any time. But after the surgery, when a heavy friend would ask me, I go through all that with them and tell them that, I'm no longer on diabetes medication. I feel better. I feel younger. I'm going to last, I'm going to live longer, all that stuff. And I would do that to try to motivate them into doing their own research or asking more questions, and to give them a gentle nudge, because it really is hard for me to look at other heavy people and say, why don't they?
Yeah.
You know, because I was one of those people, and I'm sure other people were looking at me through the years going, why didn't he? But they didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So now I give them information and try to get their thoughts going, and if they're interested, they'll pursue it and ask more questions. If not, that's their choice.
That's true. Cool. And as far as emotional eating, I was a very, like you, if I was bored, if I was happy, sad, celebrating, whatever, eating. But after the surgery, I was very, you try to be very conscious of what you're putting in your mouth. And you try to recognize the emotional triggers.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be, for me, I still very strict. I had to make sure I get in the protein, and that's what I concentrate on. So I always make sure that that I'm eating the protein and now the iron and that kind of thing. So to me, you just have to be very conscious of anything you're putting into your mouth, and you have to say, okay, is this fitting into my, I don't count calories, but is this fitting into my calorie allowance? Is this helping my protein intake? Is this in any way?
Yeah, one of the things you can do that I recommend you do, that I did for a long time but I don't do anymore and I should do again, is keep a log of everything you put in your mouth. Every cracker, every apple, every protein shake, just so you remain aware, because you are your own worst enemy. I mean, you can rationalize and justify, and it's a little like being an alcoholic, who a lot of them don't realize they have a problem. They don't realize how much they're drinking because it's such a reflex, and they've got themselves fooled. They've conned themselves into thinking what they're doing is okay.
Yeah.
But if you keep a log, it's easier to be honest with yourself, to look and say, wow, I didn't know I had a bag of chips in the morning, a bag of chips in the afternoon, and a bag of chips at night. You know, not that a bag of chips is going to kill you.
No.
But whenever you don't realize you had 3 bags that day,
Yeah.
and you had at times 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was telling me one time that a bag of chips, a small bag of potato chips a day, every day for a year, will add 5 pounds over the year. So you do that times 3 bags.
That's a lot.
A day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or lunch, dinner, and snack. And you do it every day without realizing it. That's 15 pounds a year, just in chips, let alone what you do in other things.
Yeah.
You know, that one blizzard doesn't bother you once a week, and then you do it, well, if 1 week doesn't bother me, maybe 2 won't. And eventually it's going to get to the point where that and the chips, and then you're going to be right back where you were. So if you keep a log, you remain aware, because you have to write it down and you can look at it. You know, we talked about other reasons to keep a log, particularly after surgery, so that as you add foods to your diet and you feel bad that afternoon or the next day, you can look back on the log and what did I eat yesterday, what did I add that I haven't had, and you'll say, huh, I wonder if that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't keep a log, you have no clue as to why.
Yeah. Could have been.
Yep. And if you have a good doctor or a good bariatric nurse, and you go in because you're feeling bad or because you've gained 5 pounds and you're only 6 months out from surgery, they're going to say, oh, let me see your log. If it's a good program, if it's a good nurse.
So they can help them.
Yep. I don't know why I was dumping.
Yeah.
What did you have to eat? I don't know. Where's your log? Oh, keep one.
Yeah.
So a log is important for a multitude of reasons. And if nothing else, it's a distraction.
Yeah.
If you have to write it down, you'll say, oh, I don't need that bag of chips. I don't want to take the time to look to find my log and write it down. And
Yeah.
so.
And let's see, the other thing, dealing with compliments, that was a hard thing for me to deal with. Now it's not. And I didn't understand why it was difficult for me to get compliments, because I was feeling good,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I was looking better, but I didn't understand until there's another YouTuber, Tanya, who came to the realization and said it in a video, and then I was like, whoa, makes sense, because when you are 318 pounds or 330, you spend all of your time trying to hide and stay in the background so people don't notice you. And now all of a sudden you're losing weight and people are noticing and they're coming to you with compliments. It's a very, kind of freaks you out. It's like you spent all these years trying to hide, and now people are like, wow.
Heavy people, because of that, when we go to support group meetings, very, very few people have pictures of them when they were fat, only when they've slimmed down, because they didn't want their picture taken. And you look at a lot of family pictures from these people, and the fat lady is standing behind the kids,
Yeah.
and all you see is the face. You don't see the body. Subconsciously, she's hiding. And that turns you into kind of a shy person, a person who feels less valuable than anybody else, that has self-esteem problems, which is normal. I didn't realize I felt that way, but looking back now, I can see I did. You feel like a failure. You feel like less of a person because you can't beat the weight.
Yeah.
It's controlled you. It's taken over you. It won the battle. You didn't. And now all of a sudden, after being that shy, defeated person, people coming up to you, kind of like night and day. You haven't had much of a chance. You've lost weight so quick. You haven't had that chance to kind of adjust your, not necessarily your personality, but
How you view yourself.
yeah. And then people come up to you and say, wow, you're looking good. That does two things. One, it embarrasses you. And two, it reminds you of your old self.
Yeah.
That worthless self, that fat self, the defeated self. That's one of those times you take a negative and turn it into a positive. Yeah, I was a loser, but I'm not anymore.
Yeah.
I beat it. I won. I'm in control. And that's another way to watch your emotional eating. Do you want the food to take back over? Or do you want to be the winner?
Yeah.
Is food going to win, or are you going to win? And sometimes it helps you persevere through.
Yeah, exactly. And now I'm okay with compliments.
Yeah.
I kind of get a little embarrassed, but not so much. Now I'm like, yeah, I do look good.
Yeah.
So it takes a couple of months, and I think for me, I had to come to terms with all the changes that were happening. Like, I knew beforehand everything that was going to happen, but I also had to come to terms with all of that in myself before I could take it all in.
Watching videos like ours, yours, going to support group meetings, all helps you. If you hadn't known, and for that month after surgery, when your body's adjusting to the, for lack of a better word, a starvation diet, and your energy level's low, you're thinking, oh, this ain't working, or why did I do it, or because you're already in that defeated attitude.
Yeah.
And then you have this low energy level because your body is focusing all its energy on repair and recovery. And then at the end of that month, it's almost like a light switch. You go from to, wow, I feel good.
Yeah.
Let's go exercise. Let's conquer the world. But that first month after surgery is almost I'm losing weight, but why did I do it?
Yeah. I still feel low.
Yeah, I still feel kind of blah. Hang in there. But if you know it ahead of time, because you're going to support group meetings, and they're going to tell you that first month you'll be low energy because your body's using all the energy to recover. If you know that, you can deal with it. If you don't know, if you have a doctor that says, yeah, okay, come on in, give me your money, I'll do the surgery. Okay, now go, you're on your own. If that's it, you don't know. And all this stuff, dumping, you don't know what causes it. Vitamin A, vitamin B12, calcium, iron, protein, you don't know it, you're not going to be nearly as successful as a person who has gone to support group meetings, who does do the research and watches our highly instructional videos like these. Hopefully, when you listen to us, because everybody's different, everybody's journey through this is different, everybody has different reactions, everybody has different side effects.
Mm-hmm.
Some people's tastes change completely. Some people's tastes for chicken or beef, for example. Some liked chicken before and didn't like beef. Now they like beef and don't like chicken, or the other way around. Some people could eat either one, but they preferred beef.
Mm-hmm.
But now they prefer chicken. Or they got a protein before surgery that they really liked, and after surgery they don't like it anymore. But they stockpiled hundreds of dollars of protein. Now they don't like it. If you know ahead of time, it's good. Mm-hmm. And if you listen to us, not that we're going to give you every answer, but just know that every person's different, and we give you some clues as to some of the things you can expect. Hopefully it'll motivate you to do even more research, look at other people, go to support groups and listen to different people in the support group. Search on the internet for different people, not just us. The more you know, the better armed you are, and it leads much more to your success, knowing in advance what's going to happen, because then you can deal with it.
Yeah. Very good.
Sorry.
Like that.
I started to ramble there at the end.
That's okay.
Okay.
Right. Well, that's it for this week, and don't forget to submit your suggestions for a question, or if you have a question, down below in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Bye.